All right, so good evening, everybody. My name is Craig Blanchett, and I'm a certified optimal health coach. And it's my pleasure to bring you this episode of real stories of from real people with real change. And so tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to have three people share their stories of how they're transforming their health and consequently their lives. And then we'll share a few strategies that we're using, and then we'll take a few Q&A, a few questions, and then we'll button her up. And so I'm super excited about this. I'll share my story first, and then we're going to have Parrish Strong share her story, and then Karie Armstrong will share her story. So I've got a little slideshow here that I want to bring up here, and it'll have a few pictures, which will be kind of fun. Does everybody see real stories, real people on your screen? Yep. Okay, perfect. All right. So here's a little story. My story I started this journey, sort of taking health a little bit more seriously about 6 years ago. And prior to that, for the previous 10 years, I had put on a little bit of weight each year. I used to be a professional wheelchair racer. Started racing back in 1986, went to the Olympic Games and set 21 world records, was an 8-time Olympic or world champion. And I had a lot of success with wheelchair racing, but then I got a job, started starting a family, and the weight started coming on, and I wasn't really focused on weight loss. And so I wasn't focusing on health. It's focusing on just normal life things. So kind of life caught up with me. And so I gained about 50 pounds. And each year I would, get on some kind of a program. I'd start working out again, and I would complain to my wife that it wasn't working, and how I was trying so hard. And I remember she looked at me one year and she just said, when you decide to get serious about this and decide to really do it, I know you'll do it. She goes, and in the meantime, can you stop complaining about it? And I just kind of said, wow. And she was actually right. And so it was a little bit about determination, but second thing, it had to do with having a recipe for success. And when I found this program, this optimal health program, they gave me a really clear recipe. And then they promised that this same recipe worked for all human beings. And I thought, that's crazy. I'm really short. I was born with a birth defect, so I'm only 3'9". I got really short legs. So I was thinking, there's no way this could work for me like it could work for a 6 foot tall person. And but I decided to trust the program. It was super simple to follow, and I slowly started losing weight. And the weight that I was losing was specific to fat. I wasn't losing any muscle. And so I was just getting rid of the extra weight, and I still maintained my muscle mass, which was really beneficial because I wasn't getting weaker. So I was losing all the right kind of weight in the right kind of way. And now that's 6 years ago that I had lost all that weight. And now I'm back to racing. I just finished every Tuesday night out here at Portland International Raceway. We do hand cycling. So I just did an hour-long hand cycle ride, and I think we averaged 20 miles an hour tonight. So that's been great. You can see in the photo here on the left-hand side, that was about 175 pounds, my heaviest. And then on the right was for my 20th wedding anniversary. We went to Puerto Vallarta, and that was rappelling down a waterfall. And so it's just awesome to be able to go out and live an active life again, and be able to have a body that just works. So I'm super excited about that. So that's a little bit about my story, and I continue to work on optimizing my health. The program had a really good strategy for weight loss, and then the program really got underway, and I started developing these optimal health habits that where I've been going from good to better, and I've been continuing to work on little micro habits. And I keep getting faster, and I keep feeling better, and I keep my weight off, and things just, there's so much more than just merely weight loss available. So I want to pitch it over to Parrish. And so we got a picture of Parrish here. And if you, Parrish, if you can unmute yourself and then tell us a little bit about these pictures and end with the picture of you in the dress here.
Great. Well, my story started out when I was younger. I was really not overweight ever. I always ate a ton of food though, and I always could. And then I got married when I was 22, and I blame the person that gave us the Belgian waffle maker, because I had a waffle every day, at least one in the morning. And anyway, so first year of marriage, 30 pounds. And then it kind of just kept adding on after that. We had some very unfortunate circumstances where I had to get divorced, and I never wanted that. And that was very stressful. And I had 2 little babies, basically. And I went back to school, to dental hygiene school, where I met Karie. Amen. Hello, Karie. My health coach now. Anyways, and but yeah, it was a hard time, lots of stresses. Had other stresses coming to life, like we all do, and family, like Craig said. You get focused on other things, and anyways, I usually could kind of lose weight, but it just got harder and harder the older I got. And after some of the really difficult things happen in life, 5.5 years ago, I lost my husband and 9-year-old stepson in a car accident, and kind of lose your motivation to do anything. And just even, sometimes to be on earth, I wasn't suicidal, but I just didn't have a lot of motivation. Anyways, so yeah, that's where I was. And I saw on Facebook my old friend Karie doing this program. She lost 30 pounds in 3 months. And so I said, what the heck, I'll try it. But I really didn't believe that it would do anything. And so I did it, and it was super easy, or else I wouldn't have been successful, and I'm still doing it. But I've lost, as the picture says, 37 pounds in 3.5 months. I can't believe that that's happened, and it's been super easy and doable. It came down to meet me where I was, and I didn't have to change a whole bunch of things. I tried other things, or full food diet where I have to prepare all the food. Well, as a single mom, you're busy, and you don't have time to do all that. And I ate too much, and so I needed to kind of shrink my stomach a little bit, and I could with this really yummy food, and I never felt hungry. I was eating all the time. Anyways, I'm just super excited because now I'm signed up to do a race in the fall. Back before, I couldn't do Bloomsday anymore, and I'd been a college athlete. I played basketball. I did all these, active things, and I couldn't do that anymore. I felt like an 85-year-old in a 30-year-old body. It hurt to get up and move. I couldn't do daily duties, going grocery shopping, and then cooking dinner. I had to sit down and ice my feet because I couldn't do that. Just standing hurt. And so I was so excited. I just had a major layover in Seattle, and I was on my feet for like 10 hours. There's no way. I've had plantar fasciitis for years, 15 years, and it didn't hurt at all. I just couldn't believe it. Anyway, I'm so excited and so thankful.
Tell us about that dress. Yeah, it was a pretty special event, and you look pretty snazzy in that dress.
Yeah, I went to we had a national conference for this program, and that was super awesome because I got to see a lot of other people actually with a lot of really inspiring stories. Everyone would wear their little name tag and show how many hundreds of pounds they've lost, hundreds of pounds. I mean, I've lost 37, and I feel amazing and excited for life again, and I can't imagine those people who lost hundreds of pounds. I just think what a light. They had a light about them that just exuded out of them, and it was really special and precious. I got to meet a lot of neat people, and it was awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you look great in that. Congratulations on your journey. And I know you're not to your goal weight yet, but do you feel like once you get there that you're learning skills that will help you maintain and even continue to become healthy? What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought I actually knew what I needed to do. I took nutrition and dental hygiene school. was gestational diabetic with both pregnancies. I learned a lot and thought I knew what was going on, but I've learned so much more now. And really, it's all science, and you just have to follow what they say, which is easy, but there's a lot of simple, easy things that make the weight melt off, So yeah, I've learned that, and I want to keep on going. I don't ever want to go back, and I have more hope for other things in life now, not just health. I mean, just to be here on earth and to help others. So yeah, I'm just so thankful.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing your story. Next we've got Karie here, and tell us about these two photos and kind of where you're at now, because I know you've been at your goal weight for a little while now. So take it away, Karie.
Hi, you can hear my world right now. Okay, go out and close the door, please. Go out, please. Okay, hi. So this is my before and after picture, and to kind of give you a glimpse, on the left side there, that is where I was when I was not as comfortable in my own skin, and frustrated after having a few babies in a somewhat short amount of time, and just not bouncing back like I had before. And my mom, Sandy, is on this call, and my dad too. And she and I have tried different programs over time, and seeing her reach her goals and then maintain for over a year. Go out, please. Just showed me that this is more than just a weight loss fix. It's a lifestyle. It is ongoing. I met my goal a little over a year ago and have maintained within a couple pounds here and there, of where my kind of target is. And I love that the program keeps you going. You set new goals, you establish new habits, and the community is huge. My coach, Dawn, works with Craig, and then it's fun to see kind of the ripple effect to Parrish, and just, I don't know, the goal of optimal health, where it is an ongoing process. I love that. And I do love, like Parrish was saying, that it is such a simple process. It's not always easy, but also, like Craig said, it works for every human, and I've found that to be true as well. Pretty simple recipe with the same great results. And so it's been awesome. And since I decided to coach, that's been about a year ago, the rewards multiply, and the just sharing life with people and health, and having the opportunity to invite other people along, whether it's coaching or as a client, or even people that aren't clients who still want to be involved in a healthy community. I love it. And so that's kind of been my journey. Don't know if that answers the question, but that's been life-changing, absolutely. You're muted, Craig.
Thank you. Yeah, how long have you been maintaining the 30-pound loss?
I got to my goal about March of 2015. I started in January, got to my goal, and then have kept it off for, I guess, a year and a few months.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I love about this is I know lots of people that have lost weight. I mean, people lose weight all the time. The problem is they lose it and then they find it, and then they lose it and they find it, and they lose it and they find it. And so I want to, if you're watching this and you're going, oh, he's telling my story, what would it look like for you to get rid of it? Just like Karie, Karie's, her weight loss story, which is her past, is where a lot of people are now. They're hoping they can just get that 30 pounds off. But that happened, a year and a half ago. And there's some profound changes that have happened. And actually, I'd love for you to just talk about maybe one or two of those, some things that you have fundamentally changed that you do now that you didn't do before, that's part of this permanence to your change, and rather than a temporary thing. Do you have a couple ideas?
Definitely. I think one of the biggest changes is breakfast in the morning, eating within an hour waking up, as my mom can attest to, I would battle that my whole life. I did not want to eat. I didn't have an appetite. So doing that, eating every 2 to 3 hours, which is a fun thing because I love food, and drinking water. And also realizing the importance of the community and the people that you surround yourself with, and having people going along in the journey. And I have amazing support, and I always have, but it has helped me to be more intentional with bringing health into it, mostly with the food choices and sleep, all sorts of things. So I think those are the main habits that I learned throughout the weight loss phase, but once I met my goal, those didn't stop. And so that's what makes it possible to maintain, which is not common with a lot of weight loss programs, is being equipped with answers. So once you're done, you keep going, and all of those fat pants and, backup clothes, you can say goodbye because they won't be needed again.
Yeah, that's, I don't know if you guys take a minute and let that sink in, what you just said, because that's like, what? You really got rid of them? Like, really? And people have these different stages of clothes. Oh, I'm moving into this next stage of clothes, and you have a whole wardrobe at 5 pounds heavier or 10 pounds heavier, and then another wardrobe, and it's like, no, you just have one wardrobe now. And that's profound if you've been dieting your whole life to think of actually getting rid. When my wife lost her weight, she lost about 38 pounds, and that was 5-6 years ago. And we went and bought all these space blankets or space bags because she had a lot of clothes at heavier weights. And we used the vacuum cleaner and sucked them all down and then stored them. And it was about 8 months later, and she gave them all away to another friend of hers, that had about 100 pounds to lose. And so my wife's fat clothes were going to be her skinny clothes. And she just gave them all away. And it was like, I don't know, there was something really freeing about that process. And so that's here's a crazy concept for those of you guys. I'm going to let you guys ask a few questions, and then I'm going to go in and tell you a little bit about how our program works and the 4 components that dovetail together and really have a synergistic effect on the process. But the reality of this program is you learn healthy habits. You don't learn dieting tricks. And so when you're in the weight loss phase, which is only the first phase, the habits that you're learning are healthy habits. So you learn to have breakfast every day. Well, don't ever stop. That's a habit of health, not a habit of weight loss. You learn to eat every 3 hours, which controls your blood sugar. That's a healthy habit, not a habit of weight loss. You learn to drink enough water to let your body flush all the toxins and to thrive. It's about 80 ounces. Don't ever stop that. The only thing that really changes is the makeup of the food you eat and the amount of calories you get outside versus inside. That's about the only thing that changes. So I love the fact that when you're learning these habits to lose the weight, you just continue those for the rest of your life and the weight stays off. And so, I don't know, there's something really profound. Its simplicity is profound, I believe. So let's take a couple of questions, and then I'm going to kind of give a little example about how the actual the 4 components work. Does anybody have a comment or a question about somebody's story tonight? Go ahead and unmute yourself and jump in. If not, I'll just jump in and share a few pointers about the 4 components. Why don't you guys think about a question if you have one? If you're on the telephone, you hit *6 to unmute, just so that you can do that. But I'm going to share my screen again, and you guys can still think about if you do happen to have a question. And so our components of the program, we'll start with one. Everybody that's on the program has a health coach. Yeah, why isn't that staying up there? Boop. Who knows? Well, you got a health coach. I had some really cool graphics. So it looks like none of them are going to stay there. So let's go to the last one and we'll show them all at once. So you have the health coach, and everybody that goes to this program, whether you're a coach or not, everybody has a health coach. So that's kind of a really neat deal. So you have a partner that has been through this program and that has experienced how it all works. So they have firsthand experience. And so that's awesome. And here's the one thing you may not realize: the health coach is not your taskmaster. The health coach is there to teach you, not to teach you, to encourage you and to partner with you to reach your goals. That's really the goal of a health coach. And so some people may not realize, I have some of my clients that they, when they've gained weight, they don't want to call me because they feel like, I'm not sure what they feel like, but it seems like they feel like they want me to be proud of them. And it's like, this is not my goal. This is your goal. And so think about, like, if you're a basketball player and you're trying to learn how to dribble, you know, when you don't know how to dribble or when you're doing poorly at it is when you go talk to the coach, and the coach works with you so you can learn how to dribble. And that's the way this works. When you go to a party and when you gain weight, or when you make some poor choices, or when you make some choices that aren't serving your goals, you talk to the coach and you have a conversation about it, because you may have wanted to make those decisions in the moment, but you didn't want to make those decisions in the long run because you have this higher goal. So that's what the health coach is there to do. It's really a partner with you. We have the habits of health, the second one there. And the habits of health is the curriculum that we study and we review and we work through. Our whole coaching team goes through the habits of health once a year. And so we start usually in January, and it's 26 weeks, and we go through it. We've been doing it for 5 years now. And it's really powerful to remind yourself about some of these things. Sometimes they're new, and sometimes you're going to renew those habits and those ideas. And so it's profoundly simple as you apply those habits. And then our community, believe it or not, tonight is a representation of our community. There's so many studies, and you just got to deal with it, folks. You're never going to be as healthy as you want to be without a community. It's just that simple. Go ahead and try to do it on your own. And when you're tired of failing or struggling or not getting to your goal, maybe one day you'll plug into a community. And the way I like to think about this community is we're a group of people that have decided we're not as healthy as we wish we were. And so we're working on it together. Some of us may be very much healthier or less healthy, but all of us have that same thing in common. We're not as healthy as we wish we were, and we're working on it together. And so the community that you hang out with, you will become like. And all of us in this community are making progress over time. And then we have fuelings. And so our fuelings, we teach you, and we even supply fuelings that are very, very nutritious. We've just actually come up with some new formulations they have no artificial anything. Yeah, I said that. No artificial anything. With 9 out of the 13 of the brand new fuelings are gluten-free. They're non-GMO, and each one of them has probiotics. So they're live fuelings. They're actually the food's alive, and wonderful flavors. It's really nice stuff. Really premium ingredients found from all around the world. And so we still have our old fuelings that have been around for 30 years as well. And they're obviously very effective. And now we have a premium line for those that maybe have some allergies to artificial sweeteners or want non-GMO or gluten-free or things like that. So Health Coach, combined with the Habits of Health curriculum, combined with our optimal well-being community, combined with our fuelings, teaches you this rhythm of health. And it really is profound. The results that we get are just simply extraordinary. So at this time, I want to toss it out to you guys. Do you guys have questions about anything that I've said so far, or maybe someone's story? It looks like Debbie has a question. Go ahead, Deb.
Yeah, I have a question. I just found out about all the new fueling yesterday, which is awesome. Wish I was there for convention when it was unveiled. But the fuelings, I noticed, well, the 5-in-1 has about 100 calories per fueling versus the 3-in-3, which have about 150 to 200 calories. Are the fueling more towards I haven't had a chance to really look at it, but are they more geared towards the 5-in-1, or are they more, or is it just gonna? Because I noticed a couple of things in the 3-in-3 are gone, and
yeah. So we've got our Optimal Health products, which are for maintenance, or the 3-in-3 program. With 3-in-3, the first number is your fuelings, so they're smaller meals. And then the second number is your larger meals, or what we call lean and green style. And so we have the 5-in-1, which is 5 smaller meals and 1 lean and green. And the 3-in-3, yeah, I'm just explaining it for everybody. So the new Optavia fuelings are 100% interchangeable with the 5-in-1 former meals that we've had. So they are about 100 to 120 calories. They just are premium. They're actually, the nutritional makeup is identical. The ingredients are just higher quality. They're premium quality.
Oh,
they're so good.
Yeah, there's some great stuff.
Just ordered some. I kind of mixed it with the stuff I like, and then got some more because I got to try them.
Yeah.
So thank you, Craig.
Yeah, they're super duper.
Yeah.
All right. So it looks like Juan Carlos. Go ahead, unmute yourself, and what's your question?
Hey, so question about the Optavia. So because it's no artificial flavor or anything added, will the shipping be different?
No, the shipping. Do you mean, what do you mean by shipping? Just
like when we order it, do we get it real quick, like the next day?
Yeah. It's the same shipping for all the products. So if you're on the B Slim, they'll ship it out UPS ground, I think it is. And so it depends on where you live, but it'll come the same speed as the rest of it. Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And they have 13 fuelings that they released, and over the next year they'll continue to come out with more. And then they're going to take the former fuelings that we've had for 30 years, and they're going to upgrade them. They're going to add the probiotics to them, and they're going to take out the artificial flavorings and switch them out to non-GMO. So it's going to be a great year. And I want to be really clear. I lost all of my weight, and I've been using our former meal replacements for 6 years. So they're wonderful. These are just higher quality, and it's like they went from good to great. So it's great stuff. Yeah. All right. You're welcome. Eileen, you're up.
Well, I think you just answered my question. I was going to say, what's the difference between the two? Were there artificial? What was the difference? Was it some of the old stuff? Was it artificial sweeteners, or what was in there that is not in this new one?
Yeah, the former meals didn't had in the products, or the flavors that were sweeter. They used 4 different types of sweeteners. One of them was a natural sweetener, stevia, and then 3 of them were artificial. And so the new products, the new fuelings, offer no artificial colors, flavors, sweeteners, or anything else that's artificial. They're fully normal. And then they have the probiotic added to them for gut health. We're really finding that people's long-term health has their gut health, and the flora that's in your intestines really makes a difference in your overall health. And so they are, that's why we have them. There's 250 million microflora in each meal. And so you get a nice dose of those things at every meal. So, and then their flavorings, they've only got 2 grams of sugar. And so the sugar is really low. I don't know how they did it. They upgraded nature. I don't know. It's pretty great.
I think what they do is now they use the healthy, because I went to a health class this last week, kind of. And I think what they use is the natural sugars, like pure, I guess you call it pure cane sugar or natural, the natural. It hasn't been processed.
Yeah. Well, the problem with the natural sugars, even though they're natural, there's going to be the glycemic index, and the glycemic would be high. And so they keep the glycemic index identical to the previous line to allow you to get into fat burn. So there's only 2 grams of sugar in each meal. I don't know, they're absolutely amazing. They taste great, and they're completely interchangeable with all of the current things. So really, our program hasn't changed. And if you think about it, I know that the food is a very strong tangible for people, because we like things that taste good, and we're eating 6 times a day. But if you think about it, the rest of the program is where the long-term results come from, and the fuelings are just the tools that we use. And so now we have 13 new tools that are higher quality. The previous tools that we've had were very effective and very safe, but we couldn't. They weren't like premium. Effective and safe, no question. But now they're effective, safe, and premium and non-artificial, and it's like I said, they've just did a full upgrade, but nothing else has really changed. It's the same process, it's the same habits. You can't really change the habits of health because they're actually real. They're actual habits of health. So
we're to order the 13 new ones, would we be going to the other website? They won't be.
It's all through Take Shape for Life. Take Shape for Life. Over the next year, we're actually going to be changing from Take Shape for Life to Optavia, and that'll be the new name. But right now, we're Take Shape for Life, and we just have the Optavia line of fuelings. So
we'll go to our regular site that we usually order from. The Optavia will be in there too.
Yep, you'll see it all there. Yep.
I'll box. You think?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
You'll see it. It'll be very obvious. I just ordered a bunch. A lot of people.
Yeah, it's right on the top. It says fueling.
Yep.
And that's right there.
I've actually contacted a couple of my clients that have been running at a healthy weight for a long time, and they wanted to get away from the artificial sweeteners, and they just ordered a bucket load of these things because they're like, oh, finally, we have lots of healthy variety that they can trust is glycemically balanced. So it's really a great thing. Go ahead, Don. I unmuted you.
Okay. Hey, Craig.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. So, I was listening to the talk about these foods and stuff, and man, I've been eating them since we got back. And they're great. They taste absolutely wonderful. I've heard it said, not necessarily tonight, but on, in talking with people at convention and things like that, that they're not as sweet as the old product, and they don't leave that aftertaste, and that's true. They taste great. I've been eating the bars. I had the green smoothie yesterday, and I had the Bliss smoothie today, and I'm telling you, I love them.
Yeah, I just made the swirl. I don't know what the name of it is, but it was like a brownie swirl thing, and I don't know how they did it, but that was definitely sweet and yummy, and like you said, there's no aftertaste. There's no vitamin aftertaste. I don't know. It's just it's great.
I think part of that is some of the artificial sweetener that was in these other products was sucralose. And I think sucralose has a tendency to have a drag-on aftertaste,
Maybe. Yep.
But, I don't know what the difference is. All I know is it's much better. And when they get some of the other products, the older products upgraded, it's going to be even better.
Yep.
But
I agree.
yeah, they're really good. I put my order in down at convention, so I'm waiting for it to get here. I'm using up my sample pack right now.
Yep.
And gave one away to a potential client. So it's working great.
Thanks, Don. Yeah. So for those of you that are watching this, hope you were inspired by some of these stories. Literally, these stories. Here's the crazy thing. Is Karie's story is not unique. it's actually quite common. Parrish's story is kind of common. I mean, it's still powerful, and it's still profound, and it's still really good, but it's not unique, guys. We do this all day long. So I want you to really think about that from your standpoint, because kind of take this little secret of guaranteed results and a program that's simple enough to actually work, and kind of put that in your back pocket. And because I know that you're going to come across people in your normal life, normal everyday life, that are struggling with a Weight Watchers program, or they're struggling with some kind of intense workout program, or who knows what it is, but they're out there killing themselves working out, or they're starving themselves, or they're yo-yoing this and that, and they just can't figure out how to behave themselves and to just get the recipe right. And or maybe they're just a classic dieter. And think about what I said, that this is pretty commonplace, and as profound as our changes are, they're quite common. And so when you come across somebody, just think about having a chat. And that part of our community is to reach out and talk to somebody and partner up with them. Whether you're a coach or not, when you partner up with somebody and start learning those habits of health and practicing them together, you will increase your sphere of healthy people, and everybody wins. The bigger that sphere gets, your chances of long-term change just keep going up and up and up. And you don't have to do it. You can just choose to kill it yourself and have a great time and tune into our community here. But there's people out there. Remember, think about back to the time before you knew this program existed, and how losing 10 pounds, 20 pounds would have been a miracle. Like 20 pounds is child's play. 50 pounds, whoop-de-doo, no big deal. And so think about where you were before you knew about these habits, and before you knew about this community, before you sort of decoded this mystery of health. And when you come across somebody, invite them, talk to them about it, ask them how they're doing, ask them if they want to partner up with you, because the more people you have alongside of you, the better you're going to be, the stronger you're going to be, the stronger we're going to be. And invite them to this community. And who knows, if you're not a coach, we have a training program where we can train you and partner up with you to help them. And then while you're helping them, they're going to be helping you in a unique way. And so this, I don't know if you guys, I heard this at convention, is they said, we don't spend a dime on advertising. Our advertising comes by people that are going through this program. And so if you don't tell them, who will? If you don't invite them, if you don't partner with them, who will? And so I really want to encourage you to be bold and think about them more than your uncomfortableness. And who knows, they may thank you one day, just like Parrish thanked Karie, and Carrie's coach Dawn, Karie thanked her. And I'm Dawn's coach, and Dawn has thanked me many times. So we're going to close up. We got one more comment here tonight. Dawn, go ahead. Whoops, I unmuted you. There you go. You're good.
Okay, I just wanted to jump on here and say thank you for all that you do. This convention was good, and it was good to be with each and every one of you guys. It was such a pleasure to meet the ones that were there, and you work so hard at keeping this group together, and thank you, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Don. It was I love going to a convention. We see each other on Zoom, so we know what we look like. We don't know how tall we all are. We're all about the same height, right? We're all about this tall, right? But the Zoom effect, when you get to see somebody in person, you get to hug them. So great. And so I love the effect of this. Moving forward, just so you guys know, the Tuesday night huddle, we're going to postpone that for a while. And what we're going to do is have you switch over to Wednesdays at 5 Pacific. That would be 8 Central and 9, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. And so we have our Habits of Health call and you can, if you go, there's a number that you can go to get to there. But if you go to your health coach's website, click on support, you'll get the numbers. But it's on Wednesday night, and it's at 5 o'clock Pacific. And then on Fridays at 9 a.m. Pacific, we're going to do a coaches huddle. We're starting this Friday. And so we're not going to do the Tuesday nights here for a little while. We're going to see how joining in with the rest of Take Shape for Life on Wednesdays works. And then we're going to have a separate one on Friday that anybody can come to, but it's going to be more related to challenges and you know, it'll be coaching conversations, which, believe it or not, the conversations the coaches have are the same ones the rest of us have. We're all trying to figure out how to help each other. So
did you say that's 9 a.m. Pacific on Friday?
9. So 11 a.m. your time.
6 Eastern.
Well, it'd be 9, 10, 11, 12. It'd be noon on Friday.
Oh, the other way. That's right.
Yep.
Sorry, the other way.
11 o'clock your time, and 9 o'clock a.m.
I'll just have to take my lunch break early.
Yeah, there you go. I love that. See, that's just that was what just happened there, right? Oh, I'm just gonna take my lunch break because I'm not gonna miss it. Basically, is what Don's saying.
Exactly.
That's great. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I hope you were encouraged tonight by these stories and by really this community. And we'll see you tomorrow night at 5 on the Habits of Health call. And actually, if you want, I will give you guys that number right now. So if you get a pen out or a pencil, the number, so you go to Zoom like you did tonight, but the actual number is 280-881-4268. I'll say that again, 280-881-4268. And that is the number for the Habits of Health call, 5 o'clock Pacific every Wednesday. So we'll see you on Wednesdays or Fridays at 9 a.m. And I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Take care.